The light side of the Force is the ultimate embodiment of compassion, harmony, and selflessness. It is the guiding energy that the Jedi strive to follow, a path that emphasizes connection, redemption, and the belief that even in the darkest of moments, there is hope for transformation. Time and time again in Star Wars, we've witnessed individuals once consumed by darkness finding their way back to the light, often through acts of love, sacrifice, or rekindling their lost humanity. But is this redemption universal? Could even the most depraved and evil individuals, the ones who have devoted themselves wholly to the dark side, be capable of embracing the light? Consider the essence of the Force itself. The light side represents balance, a reminder that no one is ever fully lost unless they choose to be. Anakin Skywalker, a Jedi turned Sith, was redeemed by the power of love by his son, and his willingness to abandon power to save someone that he cared for. Even legends like Revan, who walked both paths, demonstrated that redemption is not just a possibility, but a powerful statement to the enduring nature of the light. If the Force's light is truly boundless, shouldn't it be possible, at least in theory, for any individual to embrace it? Even if someone is as dark and corrupted as one Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine. Can Palpatine be redeemed? That is the topic of today's holocron. If figures such as Vader, whose atrocities shook the galaxy, or even Darth Sion, who was consumed by hatred and agony, could be redeemed, then why not Palpatine? Is his devotion to the dark side so complete that he is beyond redemption? Or is there a sliver of light buried deep within him, obscured by his lust for power and control? Let's delve into the philosophy of the Force, Palpatine's choices, and whether redemption is truly universal, even for the Sith's most infamous Lord. Redemption through the Force begins not with a dramatic shift, but with a faint spark, a moment of vulnerability, self-awareness, or connection to something greater than oneself. Just as the dark side starts with a single seed of fear or anger, the light side kindles as a quiet whisper of hope, one of compassion or love. The spark may manifest as an unselfish act, a memory of something lost, or even the realization of consequences of one's darkness. The light side is patient and enduring, waiting for the moment to ignite, reminding the individual that the path of harmony and redemption is never fully out of reach for anyone. Like a flickering flame that sparks grow with each act of goodness, steadily eroding the chains of the dark side. The galaxy itself is a testament to the omnipresence and the necessity of the light side of the Force. Life flourishes in balance, sustained by interconnectedness of all living things, a reflection of the light side's essence. Where the dark side corrupts and destroys, the light side nourishes, renews, maintaining the equilibrium that is essential for existence. This natural order confirms that the light side is woven into the very fabric of the galaxy, an integral force that ensures that life persists even in the face of overwhelming darkness. Redemption, then, is not an anomaly but a reflection of this universal truth, the inherent resilience of the light side, offering those lost in the dark path back to harmony. To explore the possibility of Palpatine's redemption, though, we must first understand the essence of who he is. Redemption begins with identifying what someone values, what they are willing to sacrifice, and what they desire most deeply. For most individuals, even those who have succumbed to the darkness, these elements often include relationships, ideals, or causes and dreams beyond oneself. However, these factors reveal an unsettling truth for Palpatine. His ultimate and only devotion is to himself, power, and control. The promises he makes of a peaceful galaxy are illusions, tools to manipulate others into serving his agenda. Beneath the surface, Palpatine is defined by an insatiable hunger for dominion, with nothing else holding meaning or value in his life. This singular obsession with power renders him unique among Star Wars' darker characters and Sith. Unlike Anakin, for example, whose descent into darkness stemmed from fear, love, and desperation to save Padme, Palpatine's path towards the dark side is not rooted in tragedy or a misguided attempt to protect others. In every iteration of Palpatine, whether in canon, legends, Palpatine is portrayed as someone who loves only himself and his power. His actions are never fueled by emotional vulnerability or an external catalyst, but by a cold, calculating desire to dominate. The lack of external motivation strips away any potential of redeeming core. His evil is not a mask or a product of circumstance. The evil of Palpatine is in his very essence. Central to the concept of redemption in Star Wars is the presence of a relationship, or even an emotional anchor. Anakin Skywalker's love for Luke allowed him to rediscover his humanity, connections, memories of love. Palpatine has no such ties. He forges alliances only to exploit them, discarding even those closest to him such as Maul, Dooku, anyone who is no longer useful. His lack of genuine relationships prevents him from experiencing the moments of reflection or vulnerability, these being the first steps that lead one towards redemption. Without such connections, there is no catalyst that would see Palpatine question his path. Moreover, Palpatine's mindset further cements his irredeemable nature. He sees himself as the ultimate being in the galaxy, a godlike figure whose superiority is absolute and unquestioning. To him, the rest of the galaxy is populated by insignificant beings, ants existing solely to serve and to glorify him. This view not only dehumanizes others, but it reinforces his unwavering belief in his own infallibility. For Palpatine to embrace the light side, he would have to experience humility, to recognize the worth of others, something that fundamentally disagrees and contradicts with his character. He does not question his rule or his superiority ever, and this utter lack of self-doubt leaves no space for the light to ever take root. Some may argue that redemption is always theoretically possible. After all, the light side of the Force is rooted in compassion and balance, offering even the darkest souls a chance to return. However, to Palpatine, this possibility is purely that, theoretical. His unyielding ambition, lack of compassion, his self-centered worldview make him utterly resistant to all change. Even if the Force itself were to present an opportunity for redemption to Palpatine, he would reject it. He would see it as weakness. This would undermine his pursuit of ultimate power. Redemption requires choice, and Palpatine would never choose anything that would diminish his strength or his control. It's worth considering the idea that Palpatine may be a product of the dark side itself, a being inherently cursed to embody its corruption, to perpetuate its influence across the galaxy. What if Palpatine is more a force of nature and less a man, a product of the dark side itself, the dark side's steward? More than a Sith, but an embodiment of what it means to wield the dark side. He is less a person and more a manifestation of the dark side's will. His power, his cunning, and his twisted mind may not be coincidental, but the dark side's very design. If this is true, then his existence is inherently tied to his ambition, and any attempt to redeem him would conflict with the very nature of his being. He would remain a slave to his ambition, forever consumed by his insatiable hunger for power, and his belief that he is superior to all. Ultimately, Palpatine's allure lies in his role as the embodiment of pure, irredeemable evil. His refusal to question his actions or embrace the light defines him as a villain. It sets him apart from other Sith Lords who have shown moments of vulnerability, regret, humanity. To redeem Palpatine would not only undermine his character, but diminish the narrative weight of his role in Star Wars. He exists to show the consequences of unchecked ambition and destruction, but also the destructive nature of the dark side at its most extreme. Theoretically possible for Palpatine to embrace the light side? Yes. Realistically, never. Palpatine stands as one of the greatest villains in not only Star Wars, but in all of storytelling. His mastery of manipulation, his unrelenting pursuit of power, and his embodiment of the dark side make him a character whose influence will always loom large over the galaxy long after his physical demise. He is the ultimate representation of corruption, greed, the seductive allure of the dark side, a cautionary tale of what happens when ambition consumes all humanity. In his cunning and cruelty, Palpatine defines what it means to be a Sith, a being who seeks domination at all cost. His legacy is unparalleled. His role as the embodiment of the dark side ensures that his presence will forever echo in the minds of fans. Whether you admire his tactical brilliance, his chilling demeanor, or his unshakable belief in his own superiority, there's no denying that Palpatine is one of the most iconic figures in the galaxy, and he reminds us about why the dark side is so compelling, as it is terrifying. But thank you so much for joining us today in our exploration of the Sith philosophy and lore. If you crave more knowledge of the darkest lore to exist in Star Wars, be sure to return to the Sith archives, where the secrets of the dark side await you. But until then, may your power grow, and may the darkness guide your path, as the Sith archives will remain open. And of course, may the Force be with you.